Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, I'm still offering the reward for anybody who wants to help me drive to my next vacation. And I know it sounds very weird, but it's probably best illustrated why I would do this with a couple of examples. In 2019, I was living in Seattle, Washington. I had a favorite stargazing vantage point near Ellensburg, Washington. Go look this up. It's called Wild Horses Monument. It's a good 2.5 hour drive away from Redmond, where I lived, and the problem is that I would get there, view the stargazing event. Sometimes it was at 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I'd be done with it, I'd pack up, and then I would end up sleeping in the car because of all the driving and the stresses of that. And you might think, well, that's really nice, you sleep under the stars. Well, not really, because got to remember the kind of climate that the mountain area can experience, right? That place has probably seen all sorts of weather patterns, but sometimes it would be really hot, could approach 100 degrees. Sometimes it could be freezing out there. And by the time I got up, I was often in a huge mess. Sometimes I had to work the next day as well. Um, One time, I distinctly remember one time I went there at 2 in the morning to view a lunar eclipse. But I didn't want to experience that again, the freezing, the whatever it was. It was freezing at that time. And so I decided to brave it out and head back before that. And long story short, I'm lucky to be alive after that one particular lunar eclipse. I think that was early 2019, if I remember correctly. Now, and other events, it's not uncommon for me to, because you got to remember, some of these destinations that I go to, Google this. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. What are some nice places to drive? All of the good places are at least a 6, 8 hour drive away. It's not uncommon for me to stop in a small town and want to sightsee, but before I can leave that small town, I feel like I need a nap. Now, I would then take a nap at a parking lot in a Walmart or at a library or whatever parking lot's convenient, right? One time I had stopped at the library. I went in to do some reading on some maps or something, and uh, just have a few conversations with everybody in there, because the next day was going to be the solar eclipse. I went out to my car to sleep. Now, I'm traveling on the road, right? So I'm drinking tea out of a bottle that looks like this. Not nothing crazy, right? Later that night, I think it was just around midnight, a police officer knocks on my door, and I I'm still half asleep. And keep in mind that during the drive, I wasn't sleeping very well, so I was in a very weird state of mind. Have you had anything to drink tonight? And in my sleep deprived state of mind, I thought he was worried about my hydration, because this is a desert environment we're talking about. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And that confuses the heck out of the officer. And it was only then that I fully digested the question that he had asked, because I had been roused from sleep. It was 3 seconds into being woken up. It just created, long story short, it created a very bizarre encounter. This is something that would have been avoided had there been a partner driving with me, right, that night, right? Had the two of us taken turns, or we probably would have not had to think about all this craziness of juggling, sleep time and all that. We would have just taken turns, and we both would have been able to sightsee in El Paso or wherever that was. I don't think it was El Paso. It was a small town where I ran into the "Have you had anything to drink tonight?" drama. I'll never forget that. As long that's just comedy right there. And I don't, I yesterday I asked ChatGPT and like about the situation. Have you had anything to drink tonight? And misunderstanding the question. Even ChatGPT laughed about it. So whatever the situation is, anyways, the reward. I like to take a trip to Yosemite and also to. That's another drama. I got to. Every time I drop something, it drops into the gap. in the seat in the car. Yeah, I guess I won't be able to give the reward. It dropped into... All right. There it is. 2020, along with all of your expenses paid for the trip. So it'll probably be a 2 to 3 day trip. You'll get a trip to Six Flags Los Angeles, to Yosemite, and we'll pick a mid-ranged hotel, right? It won't be high-end, and some sightsee along the way, especially sightsee along the way. Stop at a small town, stop at the library without getting a cop knocking on your door and wondering what kind of tea you're drinking. Oh, I can only daydream. See, the only time I get to take a vacation where I could go in peace without having to juggle logistics of sleep and cops knocking on me, the only time I can really do that on a road trip is when I'm unemployed. That's kind of sad, right? I have taken trips like that. They all happen in between jobs, right? Road trips that I take during jobs are always riddled with sleep deprivation and misunderstandings and ending up in a hot or cold place or all the other dramas, right? I really hate it. I hate it. So anyways, a free vacation plus a 1 ounce silver coin. But contact me right away, because obviously this is one of those things I want to make sure that both of us are safe, right? So it might take some time, but I got to have a clean driving record at the very least, right? For the last of, let's say, 3 years, and nothing crazy in your history, right? So contact me right away if you're interested, because obviously these things take time to iron out, and obviously the planning of the trip. But the only thing I ask is that you do half of the driving, half of it, not even the whole thing, right? To take turns driving. And I want to make clear, I'm not looking to network with anybody. In fact, if the only thing you do is drive and we get to Yosemite and we part ways and we just arrange for a time to meet back at my car, that's actually ideal, right? In an ideal world, the AI would drive the car on my vacation, right? Oh, I can't wait for that, right? Then I have all the energy of that vacation. In fact, I could, right after work on a Friday night, I could just program where I want to go and then go. The next thing I know, Yosemite, right? And after a day of Yosemite, oh, Six Flags, right? That would be ideal, right? So I'm not looking to network with it. This is purely a human capital matter, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.